G'day everyone, it's Doctor Colin here with a quick one for you. Today we're going to do 25 random history facts in less than 5 minutes. So, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. The last French execution by guillotine was performed in 1977, the same year the very first Star Wars movie was released. Richard the Lionheart was King of England, but he hated it so much he only spoke French, which was the predominant language of the ruling class, and spent only 6 months of his 10-year reign there. The very first episode of Doctor Who was broadcast on November 23, 1963, the day after JFK was assassinated. This affected viewing figures so much they replayed the episode a week later. Blackbeard the Pirate, also known as Edward Teach or Thatch, was from Bristol, England, but spent much of his formative life in Jamaica with his family. His first foray into piracy was when he joined the crew of the provocatively named Benjamin Hornigold. Baz Luhrmann's film adaptation of William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet is set on Verona Beach, whereas the original is set in the Italian city of Verona. Most gods in the Roman pantheon were actually Greek gods that were adopted and renamed by Roman conquerors. Ancient Greek Olympics were held with athletes completely nude, so that females could not disguise themselves as men to participate. The modern Summer Olympic Games began in 1896 and were held in Athens, Greece. The Anglo Zanzibar War is the shortest war in history, lasting a ridiculous 38 minutes and claimed 500 Zanzibari lives. The Great Emu War of 1932 took place in the Campion district of Western Australia. The military was called in to sort out emus that were rampaging through the district. The emus won. On William of Orange's wedding night, his uncle King George II watched the marital consummation while cheering words of encouragement. Ancient Greek doctors believed that women suffered from a condition called hysteria, wherein the uterus would detach and move around their insides, inducing temporary madness. The only cure was an orgasm. Cue the invention of the vibrator. Ancient Romans used a seed from a plant called silphium as a contraceptive. It was so effective and popular that they managed to make it extinct. Runners, also known as sneakers, kicks or gym shoes, were originally invented for astronauts to wear in space. In January of 1919, Boston, Massachusetts was engulfed in a molasses flood. A 90-foot wide cast iron tank of molasses had exploded and breached the factory and out into the streets. 21 people were killed and 150 injured. In the 19th century, so many people were buried alive that contraptions were made to alert people to those 6 feet under that hadn't shuffled off the mortal coil. The most common was a bell with a pulley that led into the coffin, which spawned the term dead ringer. The drug heroin began life as a stronger substitute for morphine. It was outlawed for being too addictive. When General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna, president of Mexico, had his ankle destroyed by cannon fire, his leg was amputated, and he ordered a full military burial for it. When Man of Tussauds Waxworks in London was destroyed during the Blitz, one of the only statues to remain intact was that of German Führer Adolf Hitler. In World War II, Russian military trained dogs with bombs strapped to their backs to attack German tanks. However, the tanks used in training were Russian, and the dogs, when unleashed on the battlefield, went straight for the Russian tanks instead of the intended target. Richard III was thought to have been a deformed hunchback until his remains were dug up from under a car park in Leicestershire, England. He in fact had scoliosis, a condition that created a curvature of his spine. The Habsburg lineage of Spain bred themselves out of existence. The last Habsburg ruler was Charles II, who was so inbred that on top of his various physical and mental disabilities, he was sterile. Between 1530 and 1780, it is estimated over 1 million Europeans were sold into slavery in North Africa. During World War II, India supplied a volunteer army of over 2.5 million men, the world's largest volunteer army. And finally, in the 1800s, upper-class people would purchase mummies from Egypt and hold unwrapping parties. Alright, so there you go. We've had 25 facts in under 5 minutes. I hope you enjoyed that, and maybe we'll do this one again sometime. We'll see how we go. Alright, thank you very much. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, and if you'd like to see more like it, please press subscribe.